My name is Frank Guglieri. I'm here from Regional Safety Services at Putnam Northern Westchester BOCES. I'm the Regional Safety Coordinator. I am here today to take you through just a little bit of Vaping 101 to explain to you what tools are out there, things to look for, things to be aware of when it comes to vaping and your children, whether you're a parent, a school staff member, community member, just to kind of bring you up to speed on some of the things that are out there and some of the things that we're trying to work to protect our children from. One of the things that really has been in the forefront lately is this idea of vaping and the epidemic, and I use that word epidemic very seriously with today's youth. Vaping was introduced as a method to help people quit smoking, and while I believe, and I do believe it, that it was originally intended, I really think that the tobacco companies and the companies that are involved in vaping got involved because of the amount of money that's used for it when people can purchase these different types of things. It has been proven to be a segue for students to enter into this world of vaping. It's marketed in a very specific way towards our youth. Some of my research has brought forth is the idea that when smokers are looking to quit, they will try vaping and one of two things happen. One, they will quit vaping because vaping is too intense. It delivers too much nicotine to their system because, as you will see, or as you may already know, typical one cartridge contains the amount of nicotine in a pack of cigarettes. And what I found is with some surveys that have been done with vape shops, the most popular flavor for people that are choosing to vape is ashtray. An ashtray might sound not appealing to anybody because when you think of an ashtray, you think of disgusting ashes, discarded waste, cigarette butts. But the flavor of the cigarette is what's drawing smokers to vaping, and they're using it to wean themselves off. Studies have shown that yes, people that were smokers have weaned themselves off, but it's only about 28% effective. Some of the other research that's out there is that youth who would normally not smoke have found a segue into the world of nicotine addiction through vaping. So without further ado, to kind of explain to you some of the things on vaping and what we have here is some of the tools that are used. So to my left, I have a typical vape pen that you would see. It basically has a battery. It has a cartridge, or sometimes they call it a cartomizer, and they have a mouthpiece. Now, basically what you can do with this cartridge is you can open it up, and on the inside, you can add your vape liquid, okay? There's any number of types of vape liquids. I mean, I would venture to say there's probably hundreds out there, different flavors, different varieties, different amounts of nicotine that are involved. When you put your liquid into this cartridge here, basically all you have to do is you have to seal it up, put the pieces back together, and then you have your vape pen, which you can hold in your hand and you can vape wherever you are, in public, in private, in the bathroom, in your bedroom, anywhere where it might be. Now, this is one of the more traditional vape pens, okay? Again, very slim line, very sleek. It holds the liquid here. This one holds about 16 milliliters. One of the things that you should be aware of is that on a lot of vape devices, there's nothing limiting you from the amount of nicotine that you're taking in. So a little while ago, I did speak about normal cigarette users who did not like vaping because they were taking in too much nicotine. And the reason why is because when you smoke a cigarette and then you stop. There's a normal stopping point when you've burned off your entire cigarette. Here with the vape pen, what you're doing is you can take in as much nicotine as you want, and most of these will hold enough to hold about 20 cigarettes, which is a pack of cigarettes. So it doesn't really limit you while you're doing it. The other thing that's another intriguing point is you can buy a vape liquid. This is Blueberry Banana Muffin. Again, talking about who we're marketing to. Okay, I don't know many adults that would be intrigued by all these different types of flavors, but kids are. Kids like the sweet. So here you have, again, Blueberry Banana Muffin. Okay, this goes for about $15. Okay, and I can take this, and this is 60 milliliters. Okay, so 60 milliliters can fill this thing up about 4 times, okay? And then I have, you know, almost an equivalent's worth of a carton of cigarettes, all right, that I can use to vape and to get my nicotine fix. I also, in this case, this has 0.6% micrograms of nicotine, which is a little bit more than what you would find in the average pack, okay? So there's, again, a lot of nicotine being delivered by this system here. The other thing that you can do, and some people do, and I don't know that I find it much with the younger population as more of the teenage, late teenagers, mid-20s population, is because these things open up, you can adulterate this liquid, meaning you can add, in addition to what you're adding here, you can add other things. You can add a THC additive, you could add a CBD additive to this and smoke it, and no one will be the wiser. Okay, so you can literally smoke a version of marijuana in public and no one would be aware of what's going on. One of the things that I want to point out to people, if you find this or you come across this, because you're able to add this oily liquid here, is that sometimes there's residue around the tip. You don't know what has been vaped or what's in that vape cartridge. So, you know, you touch it with your fingers, it can get absorbed through your skin. You don't really know what's in here. So I always advise caution. If you find it, handle it carefully, if not at least with gloves. This is charged by plugging it into a typical USB port. This battery gets screwed into here, and then it's plugged into a USB socket on a computer. Could be plugged into a laptop. Somebody's working at a class project. This thing can be run with this wire out into the laptop bag, into a book bag. It can be left into a notebook, and nobody would be aware that this is even being charged. Okay, sometimes people don't even know what to look for. I mean, here at least you can see the liquid, right? But this piece that's not attached, when it's charging, it just looks like a small little piece. It could be a flashlight, it could be a jump drive, it could be anything along those lines. So, it's just another thing to keep in the back of your mind when you're teaching, when you're at home with your children, because these things are batteries and they're high-powered batteries. So if this battery is faulty, it can cause fires. And there have been stories, albeit a few of them, of explosions caused by these things improperly charging or by being compromised, whether through usage. I mean, you can see how small this is. This can fit in your pocket, can fit in your book bag. A book falls on top of it, a heavy textbook can damage this casing. And in doing so, it may compromise the integrity of the battery and then cause a potential fire or some type of harm. Over here, I have another type of liquid. This is called Convicted Melon. I guess a play on convicted felon. It's called Tasty Puff E-Juice, and it smells just like a watermelon that you would have. Again, this particular liquid is nicotine free, and it says it right here on here. Here, this one obviously has nicotine as an additive, so you can buy a whole variety. Whether or not it has nicotine, and again, while nicotine is something that we are concerned about, we don't know what creates those flavors. So there's not research been done to look at what chemicals go in to those different vape liquids to make the flavor of melon or to make this blueberry banana muffin. So those things later on down the line, we may find out are carcinogenic. And these are things that you're putting directly into your lung using this vape device. Another type of vape pen that you can see, and I have this here just to show you how hard it is to detect, right? But if I was asked to empty my pockets or if I left this on the desk, you would look at these 4 things and say, okay, well, there's a bunch of pens there. Well, this is actually another type of vape pen. This one is called Snoop Dogg. And again, same type of idea. You have the battery that would attach to this piece here, okay, to charge up. And this is your little cartridge. Now, in this piece, okay, you actually have the option to put dry herb, so like marijuana or like tobacco, you can crush it up and grind it up, and you can put it in here, and you can use that as well. And you can use it to smoke whatever you put in there that's dry, or you can use it as, with a different attachment, put some liquid in there and smoke that or vape that as well. The next thing in front of me is I have a Juul, which you probably heard a lot about. Juul's a brand name. It's a specific type of vape device. This is the battery to the Juul, and it magnetically sits in a battery, its battery rather sits in a magnetic socket which plugs into the side of a computer, and you can charge it with the USB. When you're done charging, you pull it out, and then you use a little cartridge like this. So this is pink lemonade, and these are, comes with a set of 4 cartridges. These are the pods. And then basically what I do is I pull this out, and I have my pod and my mouthpiece all together. So all I can do is I can just slip it right in, snap it into place, and then I can start to Juul. When the pod is done, I discard this. And these are what people have been saying you're seeing in lieu of cigarette butts. You're seeing these little disposable pods out and about in the neighborhoods and things along those lines. These have become very, very popular. One, because of its size. Again, I can sit in a classroom, or I can sit at the couch watching a movie, and I can suck in, right? You might not even know it's in my hand, and then I can even blow it out into my shirt, and you won't even see the vapor that's produced. Another reason why these are popular is because I can go out and I can buy a pack of pink lemonade, I can buy a pack of melon or whatever it is, and very easily change them out. The problem with this is that here you have to clean the cartridge, or you can't use it, or you might get some bad flavors. That's why this has been soaring in popularity. And these are one of the things that we're seeing more and more in schools these days. Sometimes when these break or become discarded or whatever it is, you'll see these left on the side, as well as these little disposable pods. So that's the Juul in a nutshell. The last 3 things that I kind of want to bring to your attention is something new that's out there. People felt they weren't getting enough of what's called a throat burn from inhaling this vapor, and it's literally a burn in your throat. Just like when people smoke cigarettes, you feel the burn, the heat from the combustion of the tobacco. They wanted that, so they've created this type of device, which is a nic salt vape device. And basically what it is, it uses a different chemical, a different compound that's called salts. It's not bath salts, something different, but it looks very, very similar to vape liquid. Okay, and you can take the liquid, same type of thing. It has a higher concentration of nicotine, and you can put it into one of these cartridges here. The cartridge opens, you fill it with the liquid, you charge this up. Again, USB charger, charge it up on the side, plug in the cartridge, fits in the palm of your hand, you can suck in, you can vape all you want. And again, if people aren't seeing the vapor come out of your mouth, they might get a whiff of something fruity, and that's about it. And people have come up with ways to do this even more surreptitiously. Like I said, they exhale into their jacket. Okay, they're blowing into a vent. They're right by the window. They're blowing it out the window. People are doing this in classrooms, and teachers are none the wiser. You turn your back 1 second to write something on the board. Somebody takes a hit, blows it out. Right, you're not really going to see too much of anything. But another new device that's out there. These things here are made specifically to help people vape in class or in places where they're not supposed to vape. You see here, again, a very similar device to the past couple I've shown you. Here's the battery. Here's the charger. Charger screws on. Okay, I can plug it into the side of a computer. I have my little cartridge here. This top pops off. I can fill my cartridge very quick, very easily. This snaps on. Now I can take this device here and use it with one of these things. So I'm going to use the longer one, okay? But I want you to imagine a sweatshirt or a jacket with those pull tabs on each side, right? So I can put this on. I can take this and put my little vape pen in one side. I can hide this in a pocket. I can hide this down my shirt. I can do whatever I want with it. And then I can sit in class, and then when I decide I want to hit, I can just put this in my mouth and take a hit from it. And again, exhale into my jacket or my book bag. I can leave a book bag. I can leave a notebook, right? You know, those old 5-subject notebooks, I can leave that on my desk. Okay, I can use a smaller one, okay, to do different things. I can put something, if I had longer sleeves on, put it up my sleeve, okay, and then I can literally even just leave this in my watch band. So again, just, you know, so you can see it here. But if I had longer sleeves, I can leave this up my arm, and then I can sit in class like this and grab a vape if I needed to, grab a hit off the vape if I needed to. And with these in particular, if I wanted to, I can put in, again, THC or whatever it might be to this cartridge, and nobody would be the wiser. The last thing that I want to introduce you to is again, another newer product. This is a disposable vape device. So the entire thing is self-contained, pre-charged. It comes in a pack that looks like a cigarette pack with 3 of these. And I can use this to vape and then throw it out when I'm done. Okay? So if I know somebody's gonna come and search me, or, you know, come and search my room, I can throw this in the garbage and I don't care, because these are meant to be disposable. Everything is self-contained in here, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the amount of cigarettes that are in here is, again, equivalent to 20 cigarettes. That seems to be the standard. Usually between 15 and 20 cigarettes amount of nicotine for each of these devices. That's, you know, kind of what the industry standard has set about. So this is available. This is something that you can pull off very easily. Again, sits in the palm of your hand, all right, can be thrown out, can sit in a pocket, and people wouldn't be any of the wiser. I believe this is gonna be the next big thing when it catches on. People, you can get this online, you can get this at vape shops, you can get this at gas stations. All these things here that I have are readily available at really any point, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, you know, hopefully this video has made you a little bit more informed as to what you're looking for. These are the most common types. There's one other type that's out there that's really more for the adult vapor. That's a much bigger piece. It looks like a big square or a rectangle. I didn't show that here today because this is what we see, or what we're seeing in our schools. My name, again, is Frank Guglieri from Regional Safety Services. I'm here, you know, if you need any help or you have any questions, please feel free to reach out at any time. Thank you.